I've been playing Megaman non-stop for the last couple of months, and I got to say, these are some of the best old school 2D platformers out there. You got huge replayability due to a free choice of which levels to go after, with many of them being both fun and challenging, and at the end of them you get some sweet boss fights. Some of my favourite fights in the series belong to the many awesome looking robot masters. They have some really fun and satisfying boss fights that can earn you sweet weapons. So whether it's for their design, stage, weapon, or most importantly their fight, these are the robot masters that I love going after the most. Megaman 3 is an okay game with an okay selection of robot masters, except for Shadow Man, who's a freaking alien robotic ninja. How is that not awesome? His stage is pretty cool. You have the enemies turning off the light, enemies jumping towards you, and parachuting enemies over platforms. The positioning of the enemies are pretty well done. It feels like they were placed where you'll need fast reflexes in order to dodge. And if you don't have the top spin, you'll need those fast reflexes for his fights. His pattern involves jumping around and then either firing his shadow blades or sliding. Both of these attacks give very little warning, so it's one you'll need to be on your toes for. This is definitely one of the hardest robot masters in the series, but his weapon is absolutely worth it. It fires a blade that can be shown 5 directions, and it has good power. It's one of my favourite weapons in the game. So yeah, cool design, challenging stage and fight, and a strong weapon, making him one of the best in the NES era. Megaman 2 was my introduction to the series, and a pretty good one for that matter. The Robot Master selection was a massive step up from the first game. Case in point, Metal Man. So what's to love about Metal Man? Well, his stage is really cool. It takes place mainly on conveyors, which obviously will make you move faster or slower on the ground, and you'll have to do platforming, dodge obstacles, and take out enemies on them. It's well paced and has some really good level design. So what else is cool about him? His fight is pretty fun. It uses the conveyors found in the stage, which is actually really cool, and he'll constantly throw his blades around and jump all over the room. The conveyor belt can also change direction at a moment's notice, so you'll need good reflexes for this fight, or the quick boomerang. Now for his weapon. The metal blade has insane power, can be fired in all 8 directions, can wipe out multiple enemies at once, and uses almost no ammo. Yeah, unless the enemy's immune, these things will wipe out anything, including Metal Man himself, which is why he's only number 10. I honestly wanted to like Mega Man 8 more than I did, I really did, but there were several problems holding it back. It's a shame because there were some really cool robot masters here. For example, like Grenade Man. His stage is like a Michael Bay movie. There's a lot of stuff blowing up. Boxes that you can shoot, platforms that explode shortly after you jump on them, and a really exciting sequence where you outrun exploding blocks at the end. His fight is also really fun. He'll jump around the room firing his bombs and dashing at you, including his which when they hit the wall, causes debris to fall down. When he gets low in health, he'll destroy the platform, sending you into an uneven arena, making it harder to dodge his attacks. It's a fight that will constantly keep you alert, and it's probably the best fight in the game. His weapon is definitely the best though. It fires a huge bomb that explodes, which can do a great amount of damage upon contact, and that explosion radius is huge, capturing any enemies nearby. That's awesome. It's just a shame the whole of Mega Man 8 wasn't. Mega Man 6 is easily my favourite of the NES games. It had some really creative level design and robot masters, like Flame Man. His design definitely screams Flame Man, as does his stage. Most of this is you platforming over the oil that when lit by an enemy turns into a one-hit kill. It makes for an exciting stage as one mistake could result in your death. You also get one of the best stage themes in the game. As for the fight, whilst it is admittedly easy, it's still fun. He shoots fireballs and makes flames come up from the ground. As long as you have good timing with your jumps, you should be fine. As for his weapon though, it's my favourite in the game. It's got good speed and power, has a nice arc, and the residue it leaves is just as strong. That's awesome! One of the best fire-based robot masters out there if you ask me. Mega Man 10's difficulty is like the Sonic series. It's all over the place. You could go from a breeze to a nightmare within consecutive levels, but some of them have the right level of challenge, like Blade Man. His stage is basically Nightman's less intelligent twin, again taking place in a castle full of traps, but it's still fun. The main gimmick of this stage is these seesaw platforms that you'll need to jump left to right on while shooting down enemies and avoiding the spikes, which makes for a good challenge, as well as a mini-boss as a freaking castle. As for his fight, he'll jump onto the wall to fire his triple blade and occasionally jump down to swipe at you, and it can be tricky to dodge some of his attacks. The best thing about this guy, however, is his weapon. It fires 3 blades in a spread pattern that has good power and good range. Definitely the weapon I use the most, and a great reward for a great robot master. I mean seriously, how can you not love a robot master with a freaking blade for his head? Often considered to be one of the best in the classic series, and it's easy to see why. It probably had the best selection of robot masters in the series, and one of the best is Galaxy Man. Seriously, what's not to love about this guy? Well, for me there is one thing, but I'll get to that in a bit. Personally, his design is based off a UFO and it works really well. One of my favourite designs in the series. His stage is also one of my favourites in the series. You've got UFOs to shoot down, sections requiring good reflexes, the warps are fun to mess around with, and one of the best 8-bit tunes of all time. His weapon is also downright insane. In fact, it might just be the best in the series. It shoots a black hole that can suck in any minor enemies nearby and crush them under the insane gravity. Brutal. It's no wonder this was used for his final smash. So, what don't I like about him? His fight. All it consists of is him charging at you, which is easy to jump over, and to outrun his black hole bomb. It's sadly an easy and very underwhelming fight, which unfortunately kept this guy out of the top half. But considering this guy has one of the best designs, stage, and weapons out of them all, he's definitely worthy of a spot on this list. Ice levels tend to be very hit or miss in this series, but there has been some good ones. And the best one just so happens to come from my favourite game in the classic series, Megaman 7. It's not the strongest lineup overall, but when a Robot Master was good, they were really good. Freezeman is one of the coolest Robot Masters in the series, both figuratively and literally. I love his badass design, and the icicles surprisingly work well on him. As for his level, whilst it is an example of an ice level playing it safe, it's still a lot of fun to go through. You got several polar bear mini bosses, platforming on breaking ice, and one of my favourite stage themes in the series. The freeze cracker is also a good weapon as it can be fired diagonally and is useful against several bosses in the game. But the best part of him is the fire, as it's one of the most exciting in the series, whether you have his weakness or not. Oh, you cheeky bugger. He'll fire his freeze cracker at you or to the ground to freeze you, or fire it upwards to drop spikes on you, which he does all of this non-stop. He jumps whenever you shoot though, so take advantage of that. This is a fight that tests your reflex as well, and when you do dodge it all, it's very satisfying. The fight alone would get him on the list, but his stage, design, and weapon are just as awesome too, and there's still better to come from this game. Up next is my favourite Robot Master from Megaman 6, Tomahawk Man. The start of this stage is my favourite in the game. I love the alternate routes in this stage, how some of these routes make use of the Rush Jet adapter, the rocking music, and that sunset is gorgeous for 8-bit. Regardless of which route you end up taking, you're going to have a blast. His fight is also really cool. He'll throw his Ferguson Tomahawk at you, both requiring good timing with your jumps, or you can enjoy the only time you use the plant barrier, which can be pierced by an attack, so it's a tricky one regardless if you've taken out the flower. Definitely worth it for his weapon though. The silver Tomahawk will arc upwards and has good power, and there's a lot of enemies positioned well for this. Overall, great fight, great stage, and a great weapon, making him my favourite Robot Master in the NES era. His design, while simple, works really well. His stage is loads of fun because it has so much going on. You got the platforms that rotate you, making for some fun platforming challenges, the rain and wind affecting your jumps on tiny platforms, and some well done ice sections. And when you get to Tornado Man, he puts up a fight whether you have the weakness weapon or not. His attacks involve summoning 4 tornadoes to rise up, which also increases your jump height, and to dive bomb you. The former of which can be dangerous as there are spikes on the ceiling. It's a great fight and well worth it for the weapon, as it has multiple uses at once. It can act as a screen nuke, and it also makes you jump higher. So yeah, with everything this Robot Master has, it's no wonder that he's a fan favourite. I'll leave now. Easily the most underrated Robot Master in the series. I'm surprised this guy doesn't get more credit. His stage is my favourite in the classic series to play through. You got fun platforming sections, enemies coming out of holes that you can actually react to, messing with the weather can be fun, and a cool music track. As for the fight itself, if you don't have his weakness weapon, you're in for a challenging fight. Using the lightning rods on his back, making a pretty sweet design by the way, he'll summon lightning that you'll need to jump over, and then rain which will try to push you off the edge, requiring sliding. But he'll still be firing lightning balls, requiring you to time your slides, jumps, and shots well. It's a fun and tricky fight and well worth it for his weapon. Like his stage, his weapon is my favourite in the game. The Thunderbolt shoots a powerful ball of energy and can take out most enemies in one shot, making him a great choice to go after early. Cloudman barely just missed out on the top spot, but before I reveal who beat him, here are some honourable mentions. Magnet Man, fun fight and a useful weapon. Nightman, awesome stage and weapon. Junkman, fun stage and one of the best shield weapons in the series. Hornet Man, great stage and a really useful weapon. And finally Chill Man, another great ice level and a really challenging fight. I'm just going to cut to the chase. My favourite Robot Master is Slash Man. Yep, in my opinion, this is the closest to a perfect Robot Master the series has ever had. Just based off his design, you can tell this is a guy you don't want to mess with. Those claw and spiky hair combination really make him look intimidating. His stage is also a blast. Imagine Jurassic World but with robots. It starts off with then shoot down enemies on a dinosaur's back, followed by a chase sequence with a T-Rex which you then take down, and then setting off a forest fire and murdering newborn babies on the home stretch. No, seriously, he murders baby dinosaurs literally after they hatch. The stage is one memorable segment after another, and I love it. Then you get to Slash Man himself, and he is hard, if you use the freeze cracker. Buster only? Good luck. His swipes are tricky to dodge, his eggs come down fast, and if the latter hits, it'll render your weapon and movement useless. You can shake it off, but you'll have to be quick, as he'll surely lash out at you, which is hard to dodge even if you've evaded the eggs. When, or more accurately if, you do manage to dodge all of this though, you get rewarded with a very great weapon. The Slash Claw, whilst having short range, has deadly power and can be devastating at close range. This guy's got everything. A great design that looks intimidating, a blast of a stage, a fight that's tricky whether you have the weakness or not, and a really cool weapon. Don't think there's anything more I need to say. This has been Inkling Gaming, and here's hoping